Hello everybody, my name is Alex Nesbitt, and today I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, so our story begins yesterday at 5:55 p.m. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to go to sleep. Simple as that, nothing too crazy. I only really want to take a nap, but I know that's not entirely possible because sometimes when I go to take naps, they last like 4 hours, and it's like, uh-oh. But I do want to take a nap. And so I go to sleep. However, I didn't have my fan on. Usually I sleep with a fan on in the background that's next to my bed. I forgot to turn it on. And I noticed this. Because I slept for about 15 minutes before I woke up and then turned on the fan. But in that 15 minutes, I had a weird, small dream where I was like in my bed already sleeping, and the room was going all like this, like topsy-turvy. It was like turning. Okay, so I was like, I don't like this very much. Like, what the hell is this? So I wake up from that and I turn the fan on. I'm like, okay, now I'm all set. Now, I can go to sleep properly, even though that would have been a good time to stop sleeping, I guess, but whatever. So I go to sleep, again. And this dream I had was just very weird. So I'm going inside some sort of a Target, like a Target store, but the outside looks like a Target, and I'm expecting the inside to be a Target because Targets are like red and stuff like that. And instead, I'm like on the inside of a Kroger store, okay? So I'm like, okay, it looks like a Kroger on the inside, but it looks like a Target on the outside. So I'm like, okay. So I'm inside the Kroger Target, and I'm going towards like the birthday card section for some reason. Like I'm going, all around there towards there. And I come across on a high shelf this opened bag of Cheetos, okay, that someone has already opened, someone already ate some of them. So I get it. I'm like, okay, I can eat some of them in here. It's fine, I guess. Clearly it's in the wrong area, like there's no snacks here. But I'm kind of wanting to throw away too, So I'm trying to find a trash can as I'm walking around eating some of these Cheetos. But that proves to be a problem because some of the customers in this store look around and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you eating all these Cheetos? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, where a trash can is? And I come across this big line of customers in like at a cashier or whatever. And all these people are just like, okay, so, like they're all confused. They're all old people looking at me. And I'm like, okay, you know where a trash can is either, that kind of thing. And they start looking at me. They're confused. They're worried. And for some reason, this security guy who was wearing red, he was in like a red shirt. He's like pissed at me. He's like, hey, pick an animal. And I'm like, oh shit. Damn. Zebra. My favorite animal is not a zebra. It's actually a koala bear. So I don't know why I said zebra. But he said in response, wrong animal. Tiger it is then. And I'm like, oh shit. Fuck. So, okay. So, not zebra. Tiger. Okay. Okay, so then the next thing I remember is that I dropped the bag of Cheetos, in the middle of the store. And he starts like dragging me from my shirt or something with like my arms like this, on the floor. And he just like flings me all the way across the store. Okay, into like the produce section, I think. I'm not sure. And I'm like, whoa, okay. The bag of Cheetos is long gone now. And I'm in a different part of the store, but there's some customers who are like peeking away from the aisles. They're like looking around, and then they see me and they're like, hey, could you get us a Sprite from the birthday card section? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But anyway, this is the part where the dream gets a little more hazy. Because I don't really know exactly what happens, but the next part I remember is that there are like 5 or 6 of these like mean, ugly, blonde kids, okay, that are much shorter than me. They look like 9, 10 years old, something like that. They're all wearing these gray jackets. And they're all acting tough, you know, yeah, that kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And they're all going over to this one section of the store that has Rubik's Cubes, posters, candy, and real knives, okay? And they're all like going and grabbing them a lot, they're grabbing them, they're putting them in their jacket, and then they're running out of the store. And this leads the store owners to have some sort of a conspiracy, some sort of a idea or whatever, that customers are just walking too fast. They're rushing, they're going too fast. And they use the boys as an example. So I'm thinking, okay. So what I have to do now is I have to teach these boys not to run so darn fast. And that leads me to be in some sort of a line, like I'm the line leader, and I'm leading them, So there's kids in front of me, there's kids behind me, and we're just walking peacefully towards the area with Rubik's Cubes, knives, candy, and some other shit. Oh, and posters, yeah. Okay? And we get there, and we all just grab our items very carefully, very slowly. Okay? And I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, okay, do I want a Rubik's Cube? Well, I'm like, I don't really want anything here. I already have a Rubik's Cube. And what was interesting is, in the dream, I thought, oh, I already have a Rubik's Cube. And the Rubik's Cube I was thinking of in that dream is a real life one, and that's it right here. And it was in my room all the way down here. So I was thinking of a real life Rubik's Cube I already have, and I was like, no thank you, I don't want a new one. I don't want another one. So okay. So then we go, me and the boys, we go to pay for all the knives that they bought, I guess. And while we're walking to the cashier, I see that same Cheetos bag. And I'm thinking, oh shit, I don't want to touch that thing anymore. I don't want to look at it. Somehow it moved positions. I don't know why. Maybe it was continuity, dream continuity. I'm not sure. So it's there and I just sort of walk around it. I'm avoiding it, okay? So we're at the cashier and for some reason the fucking cashier is the same security guy from before. So I'm like, okay. I think I buy some gum or whatever because I don't have gum right now. And so I'm using like the divider on the little checkout thing, whatever. And that's all good. But the boys, these 4th graders, are reminding me, hey, what about our musical performance? And I'm thinking, what? What musical performance? I don't got a musical performance. I used to play the bass clarinet, but I'm not playing it right now. I haven't played in a long time. What musical performance? But we pay, and as we're walking out of the store, I look to my left, and I see this big sign in the middle of the store. No pictures, just like red text on a white background. And it says, musical performance. And it says something like, blah, 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 with music by Horner Music. And I'm like, Horner? Like James Horner, the movie composer, I think. I think he's like a real life movie composer. I think that's what that was referring to. I'm not sure. I don't know why it said Horner Music, but that's the best guess I got. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. If we're having a musical performance and we've got James Horner on our side, I think we're going to do pretty well. So anyway, we get out of the store. We have our bags. And then for some reason I see my brother, like my real life brother, and I'm like, okay. And we're going into some sort of an auditorium, theater kind of thing, maybe like a movie theater thing. But before we get there, my mom goes inside of a bathroom, some outside bathroom, I don't know. And my brother, he wants to take a sip from the water fountain. I'm like, okay. But the water fountain is like this really stupid fucking looking water fountain where it looks like a sink next to some brick wall. And as he's gonna go get some water, it like he sees, and I see it too for the first time, that this sink is filled to the brim with poop water. And I'm like, what the fuck? And at that moment, the dream ends. Okay, so that was all that. I wake up in my bed. None of what I just saw actually happened. And I'm just sort of kind of thinking, I'm like, what the hell was that, you know? It was a little weird. And I was like, oh shit. You know, I was planning on buying some Jimmy Neutron video games, you know? I better buy some right now. So I pull out my phone, you know? And I buy some video games on eBay. You know, they should be coming in a few days. Yeah, and then I'm also pacing back and forth in my room, thinking of what just happened. Like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm like, okay, you know? I wake up at around 1:48 a.m., and I'm pacing back and forth all the way up until around 3 o'clock a.m. I was sleeping for many, many hours. And then I'm decided, okay, you know, I'm just gonna stay awake, I guess. You know, I'm not tired anymore. I go downstairs, I have just a little bit of Coke, and you know, I'm thinking, okay, I'm probably just gonna get some cereal, like some Cinnamon Toast Crunch or something, maybe take a shower, and that's just gonna be that, you know. So yeah, actually, then I actually come down here and then record this right here. So we've caught up to present time, okay? So you know, there's the end of that. I forgot to take down my shoes. Actually, I need to do that. And I need to brush my teeth too because I was sleeping past the, yeah. So thank you guys very much for watching. That is the end of our story here today. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.